Hey everybody, this is John Slayton here. Let me show you my latest masterpiece on the Weber Smoky Mountain. I'm Jay Slay, and I'm grilling pork shoulder. Here's my very first pork shoulder picnic roast. Keep in mind the picnic part of the name, I didn't realize. I meant to buy a pork butt. I got this instead. It's all right. I found some cool recipes online from How to Barbecue Right with Malcolm Reed. So yeah, I started up by just trimming this thing up with my Dawg Strong boning knife, getting all that extra fat out of there. Getting a lot better at this now. I'm not cutting my hand anymore. Leaving all that skin on the back, skin on the collar there and the leg. And we'll start to season this thing up. So I went straight in with the seasoning, no binder. I used that Killer Hogs AP from Malcolm. It's really good. I like it. I bought some more. I got a second bottle in the mail, so go heavy with that. All right, next up, the barbecue rub. Same thing, right from Killer Hogs. This whole cook is pretty much inspired by How to Barbecue Right. Their seasonings, their recipe, the whole 9 yards. So pack that in there good. Make sure you hit it up everywhere, the sides, the back. You know, be liberal with it. So there you go. That's what she looks like, all seasoned up. This is what came in the package when I made my order online. It was quite the haul here. Got some sauces, some seasonings. It's all gonna blend together well, you know? It's gonna be like a real treat from Malcolm himself. All right, 10:20 a.m. Grill's at 225 degrees. I'm gonna shut the back. I'm gonna shut down the vents a little bit so it doesn't get past 250. I'm gonna throw this thing on there. Let's do it. So I kind of dropped this thing on the grill and it bounced. Luckily, things didn't go bad, but yeah, don't do that. 1 hour in, I got my 250. Okay, looks pretty. It's 140, about an hour and a half. Crept up to 275, so I just shut down the vents a little bit. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that's pretty. That is pretty. So I'm gonna spray it a little bit, spritz it, and then put some more seasoning on. So this solution I used for the spritz was primarily just apple juice, splash of cranberry juice because I had it, and then apple cider vinegar. And then I just followed it up with some of the barbecue rub. I'm just gonna throw some pecan and cherry in there. So I had this whole grill planned out in my head, recipe, ingredients, everything. And they told me it was gonna be thunderstorms. Look what we got instead. That's what you get living in New England. She's smoking up now. It's been about another hour. I got my 250 going. All right, coming along. Let me get some olive oil cooking spray under there in the skin, and then spritz it and season it a little more. Oh man, look at that thing. About 3 hours, 3.5 hours in. Looking good. It's 2:20. It's been about 4 hours. This thing's looking nice. Bark is coming along. I might give it one last spritzing before we call it a wrap. Wrap her up. Almost 5 hours now, just over 250. Yeah, it's got some nice bark. It's about time. I'll give it one more spritz. This is one last good look at her before I foil it up. We had 5 hours on the smoker, so had a little bit of technical difficulty pulling that up. The grate got stuck. It's okay. Made it through. I hit that thing up with some last minute spritz just to add a little moisture inside for when I foil it. I used 2 big old pieces of Pitmaster grill aluminum foil from Reynolds Wrap. Does the trick, and do it back on. All right, now I got it foiled up. Put my meat thermometer in there. Now that that's all wrapped up, we'll work on the glaze. Started off with some apple juice. We're gonna bring this to a boil. So the apple juice first, followed up with some barbecue sauce. I went with the Killer Hogs from Malcolm. Poured that in there, mixed it up pretty good. Didn't want to use it all though. Then I threw in his vinegar sauce. I figured that would add a nice extra taste to it. We're gonna get this glaze going real thin. Boil it, mix it together. And then his hot sauce, also got that. Mixing it in, gotta add a little bit of heat to the sweet. Can't have one without the other, that's what I say. Let this all boil together, blend it up, stir it up real good, and then let it cool. Internal temperatures are in the mid 180s right now. What we're shooting for is gonna be 198. We're getting really close, folks. Really close. Careful when you crack this thing open, because it's gonna be steaming hot, like literally steaming hot. It's insane. Do not burn yourself. Be careful, be safe, and you'll be successful in grilling. Okay, so maybe you also may need to practice and do some research and watch videos, and then you'll be really successful at grilling. You may remember this delicious glaze that we were working on earlier. Here it is. We're gonna glaze this pork up all over. You're gonna even hit the skin on the collar, hit the bones. It's thin, so it's gonna kind of drip down. So I let it dry out a little, hit it up with another layer. So right before I threw it onto the grill, let that glaze kind of crisp up a little bit, kind of just harden and set. It's gonna be some good pork. In a little over 5 minutes. Throw a little more of this glaze on there, what was left over under the pan. Really get it sauced up. Oh yeah. It's been about 20 minutes or so on here. I'm gonna pull her off, let her sit for a couple minutes, and then pull it apart. All right, here we go, Look at that bone. Oh my God, it just falls right out. That bone fell right out. That thing is tender. But how do I get this bone out, I wonder? Well, let's just rip right in. That's what I sure did. That's what you gotta do with a pork like this. You gotta pull it apart with your hands. Just, pull it right apart. When it's tender, you're gonna see how this bone just comes right out. It's a big boy. It's a big bone. Don't give it to your dog though. Not good for the puppy. Don't give it to your dog. But when the meat falls off the bone like that, you know it's special. Hey, by the way, you see me ripping this thing apart with my hands. It is steaming hot. I'm wearing these heat-resistant barbecue gloves. I think it's called Oklahoma Joe's, something like that. But yeah, this thing is hot, so really seriously be careful. I actually started to kind of feel the heat even through these gloves as I pulled it apart. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to eat this thing. It was looking good, and it was cool. I've pulled apart Boston butt before for pulled pork. This had like a different feel. It was a different texture, but it was very similar. It's got a lot more muscles. It's got just a lot of different things going on. So it was kind of more like chunks and strips, but I really liked it. Man, I'll tell you, when I was ripping this thing apart, I felt something like I was pulling clowns out of a clown car at the circus. Like, there was so much meat inside there. It was almost unstopping. I had to get a second platter. There was just so much. I couldn't believe it. I think I probably brought more than half of this meat to work the next day to share with my coworkers, just because there was so much and it tasted so good. So be prepared for that. This was a 10-pounder. I was very pleased by how this turned out. I'd never made this before. I bought it by accident. I hope for the best, and so I just made it happen. I worked with what I had. Here we go. Here comes the first bite. Oh man, oh my God, that was delicious. I got a good bark piece on that. This is another piece I tried next from the inside. That was amazing. That was amazing. I was sad that that piece fell, but I was happy because my dog got to eat it. But yeah, I threw some more barbecue sauce on it. Had it with some French fries. It was a really delicious meal. I'm definitely gonna make it again. I really owe this one primarily to Malcolm at How to Barbecue Right. I'll remix it. I'll do it my own Jay Slay style next time with a little bit of extra flavor, little this and that. Thanks for checking out my video, guys.